2018 will be remembered as the year of mind-boggling crimes. Nobody has been convicted yet, but so far we have in court a governor who made a young girl pregnant. Now that is a fact because the said governor himself does not deny. Now is in court for the murder of that girl. That particular case has horrified and has shocked Kenyans, beyond anything you can imagine. Also in the courts is what Justice James Wakiaga, a High Court judge, has referred to as a woman eater. Now the woman eater is in court with his fiancée, and they're both charged with the murder of another young girl. Now even as Kenyans are desperately trying to digest all this, kumbe mambo bado. The Directorate of Criminal Investigations has arrested 2 suspects yesterday, a man and his daughter. Now it is claimed that this daughter, a very beautiful young Kenyan woman, was a friend to a certain businessman, a frequent visitor to his house. That is, until the said businessman was found brutally murdered, his body in a pool of blood. Now it is not widely known, and maybe it's good it remains like that, but our Directorate of Criminal Investigations are using ways and means of tracking criminals that many criminals have still not caught up with. And so, detectives laid a trap, and lo behold, the daughter and the father, that is the mpango kando of this businessman, and her father drove into the petrol station with the dead man's car. Also found in the dead man's car were his personal electronic items, phone, etc., etc. Now the 2 are yet to be charged, but what police believe is that the young girl was used as bait. She seduced the businessman, then the 2 killed him and stole stuff from him. Now I don't know about you, but personally I find this latest case mind-boggling. Now in my younger days growing up, we still had criminals, even serious criminals. But in those days, criminals kept their children out of their business, or out of their out of their line of business, if I can put it like that. And that made a lot of sense. The whole idea being, don't do what I'm doing. Go to school, get qualifications, get a good job, and have a better life than me. Now the truth is, spiritually, this does not work. Because anything stolen is cursed. That means if you educate your children from corruption money, from money stolen, you're cursing your children. It will never be well with them. That is what spiritual laws say. However, despite that, how the old criminals used to behave made a lot of sense. But it seems in Kenya, judging from the last few incidences and cases we've had in the last 1 or 2 years, and this one I'm talking about being the latest, it seems that criminals are incorporating their children into the activities. Now it is very easy for you to sit there and say, that I would have resisted. If my father was a thief, I would have strongly resisted going into it, even with him. However, it is very true to say that when a parent asks you to do something, it's very difficult to say no. Indeed, it is the responsibility of parents to mold their children, to understand what is right and what is wrong. The terrible truth is that you're who your parents molded you out to be. If your mom went to the shop with 500 bob, and then the shopkeeper by mistake returned her change for 1,000 bob, so that she ended up richer than how she was before she went to the shop. And then she came into the house and celebrated after the fact. There is no way you're going to grow up believing that that is wrong. Yeah, somebody else's money can never and will never help you. Let me give you one more example. I came across this young man, who is the son of a very well-known PS. Yeah, he was a PS in government in the 90s. And I like listening to young people talk. And therefore in their discussion, they started discussing about their future careers. And then to my utter shock and disbelief, this young man told everybody that when he grows up, he'd like to be a PS. Why? Because there's a lot of money to be made by a PS, through corrupt deals. In other words, it is impossible to convince this young man that corruption is wrong. We even have very many cases, and I've spoken about this on the channel before. We have numerous cases where the mother of a young, beautiful girl knows that the man her daughter is pushing with is married. But she encourages the relationship. Why? Because there's a lot of money flowing to her daughter, and by extension, flowing to herself. Now, according to me, such a mother is pimping their own daughter. That's really what it is. Now, in my view, Kenyans have just gone overboard. We're busy demanding that our politicians stop corruption. We want them to stop stealing from public coffers, stealing from us, taxpayers. However, even as we complain, we are more evil than these politicians. We are using our own daughters to get money from rich old men. And we don't care if those men are married. We don't care how much our daughter is hurting the families of those rich old men. All we want is money and comfort as soon as possible. And it doesn't matter how we get that accomplished. Now, if you're a parent and you're in crime, you know that the risk of being caught one day is high, no matter how smart you are. Why in the world would you then think of incorporating your own daughter, and messing up her future? You have already had your future. You've messed it up. And now, instead of wishing better for your own flesh and blood, your children, instead of that, you choose to incorporate your children and completely mess up their future. You decide to incorporate them into your crime, into your criminal activities. Oh boy. Now, this latest case of a waitress and her dad is just a drop in the ocean. It only serves to highlight how very rotten our society is. We have messed up our present, and now we're very busy ensuring that our future will also be completely messed up. Until next time, this is Chris Kumekucha. In 2005, there was a lot of hopelessness amongst Kenyans. The promises of a new Kenya, the promises of a new beginning that were been given in 2002 during the general elections that had removed KANU from power were dead in the water. Out of those ashes, the Kumekucha brand was born in May 2005 to vent and to fight for a better Kenya, because long-suffering Kenyans have always deserved better. Contrary to propaganda on the web, the Kumekucha blog was never launched as a business enterprise, and through the years it has always been self-financed through some very difficult times. 12 years on and still counting, our basic premise lives on and remains the same. And that's why I'm really excited today to announce this golden new opportunity for you to reach a huge audience in Kenya and all over the world with the brief commercials for your business. They will of course interrupt our videos just like this message you're taking in. And like the Kumekucha videos, they'll be permanent. And what is more, we are so committed to ensuring that you get the results you desire that will allow you to place the spot for free. Yep, you will not pay for it. You'll only pay for it when you're fully satisfied with the results. Of course, we'll request a small fee for the video production, but it's a pittance. Are we crazy? Oh no, we are not. We're just very sure that you're going to get a result. I mean, 10 million views is not a joke. Why are we doing this? Of course, it will go a long way in helping us cover our video production costs on this channel, but that's not the reason. That's not the main reason. You can call me naive, but I sincerely believe that the more prosperous businesses we have owned by Kenyans, the easier it will be to push through the changes we want. And by prosperous businesses, I don't mean businesses which make money out of corruption and stealing from public coffers. Those are not businesses, those are criminal enterprises. Anyway, if you have a genuine business, this is a golden opportunity for you, and I recommend that you take it on immediately. Get all the details you require in the video description area on this video on YouTube. Thanks so much for listening to me. All for a better Kenya.